Zeus's daughter Athena intervenes. She casts Odysseus naked and near death ashore on the island of Phaeacia. There, a beautiful princess discovers him and takes him home to the palace of her father, King Alcinous. The Phaeacians treat Odysseus as a noble guest and urge him to reveal his identity. At last, he relents and uncertainly begins to tell his gripping story. So now he's going to kind of recount what he's been through. And you'll notice sometimes the lines start way over to the right, so it's a little confusing when you're reading it, but make sure you don't skip those. What shall I say first? What shall I keep until the end? The gods have tried me in 1,000 ways. But first, my name. Let that be known to you, and if I pull away from pitiless death, friendship will bind us, though my land lies far. I am Laertes' son, Odysseus. Men hold me formidable for guile in peace and war. The fame has gone abroad to the sky's rim. This fame, sorry. My home is on the peaked sea mark of Ithaca under Mount Neion's wind-blown robe of leaves, in sight of other islands, Dulcium, Same, wooded Zacynthus, there you go, Zacynthus, Ithaca being most loftily in that coastal sea, and northwest while the rest lie east and south. A rocky isle, but good for a boy's training. I shall not see on earth a place more dear, though I have been detained long by Calypso, loveliest among goddesses, who held me in her smooth caves to be her heart's delight, as Circe of Aea, the enchantress, desired me and detained me in her hall. But in my heart I never gave consent. So the poor guy, he's been trapped with these beautiful goddesses for years. Where shall a man find sweetness to surpass his home and his parents? In far lands he shall not, though he find a house of gold. So here he's saying no matter what treasures he finds on his journey, nothing is comparable to home, to family. So that shows something about Odysseus' character. What of my sailing then from Troy? What of those years of rough adventure weathered under Zeus? And now here, this section here where you see it italicized, those are summaries. So they're just catching us up. Odysseus relates his first adventure. He and his first fleet of 12 ships attacked and plundered the coastal settlement of Cicones. The raid was a success, but the overconfident men became drunk and mutinous, unresponsive to Odysseus' orders to retreat. The Cicones army surprised Odysseus and his men at dawn and drove them back to sea with heavy losses. You all will notice as we continue to read that this becomes a theme. When his men on his ship don't listen to him, they end up getting into trouble. Bad things happen. All right, Odysseus continues. I might have made it safely home that time, but as I came round Malay, the current took me out to sea, and from the north a fresh gale drove me on past Cythera. 9 days I drifted on the teeming sea before dangerous high winds. Upon the 10th, we came to the coastline of the lotus eaters, who live upon that flower. We landed there to take on water. All ships' companies mustered alongside for the midday meal. Then I sent out 2 picked men and a runner to learn what race of men that land sustained. They fell in soon enough with lotus eaters, who showed no will to do us harm, only offering the sweet lotus to our friends. But those who ate this honeyed plant, the lotus, never cared to report nor to return. They longed to stay forever, browsing on that native bloom, forgetful of their homeland. I drove them, all 3 wailing, to the ships, tied them down under the rowing branches, and called the rest. All hands aboard, come, clear the beach, and no one taste the lotus, or you lose your hope of home. Filing into their places by the rowlocks, my oarsmen dipped their long oars in the surf, and we moved out again on our seafaring. So the lotus eaters, they're not harming the people, but they're basically feeding them lotus and causing them to forget about their home and their journey back and what's important to them. In the next land we found were Cyclopes, giant louts without a law to bless them. In ignorance, leaving the fruitage of the earth in mystery to the immortal gods, they neither plow nor sow by hand nor till the ground, though grain and wild wheat and barley grow